Aquarius, mid-January to mid-February of 2022. Your Pure Magic Oracle cards by Andres and Gracia were secret seances and hidden familiars. And the underlying card of that deck was Opening Circle. Two of them popped out, so I said, heck, I will take both. Now, your underlying card for the Hanson Roberts is the Two of Pentacles. There's a buoyancy here. We'll get to that in a minute. It's as if you're in a protective bubble this month while you explore. And this could be ancestral protection from loved ones crossed over from the other side. And it's also got this very animal spirit, totem, messengers vibe. Just lots of animals here. You might work with animals. You might be somebody who studies exotic animals. The other thing I see is if you work with any kind of automobiles, machines, engineering, there's this cogs, this mechanism, which is very Aquarius. And I believe that this has to do with career for most of you. Just a hunch I have. All right. So, secret seances. Communication from the other side. Belief in there being more to the spirit than just this physical reality. Ancestral lineage. Messengers from the other side. Help we get from the other side. And memories. I do believe that somebody on the other side, or even an animal that you used to have on the other side, is coming through heavily, or that someone on the other side or spirit is communicating with you through the animals in your life, whether it's animals you're seeing on bus, the side of a bus, animals that are flying in the sky above you, depictions of animals, live animals. There's a Native American heritage too here. There's also a Middle Eastern heritage here. I'm getting those vibes. And the reason I say there's buoyancy is because for some reason this card, it's a juggling card, juggling finances, juggling resources. During tumultuous times, you might be feeling a little bit, kind of mixed up and a lot of tasks, a lot of demands upon you. And you only have so much to work with, so you've got to do this song and dance, the rat race, really. But I'm seeing this as You being so expansive that when you hit the water, it's as almost as if you should be drowning, you should be treading water, but you don't. You stay afloat. The opening circle is about protection. It's about tradition and routine and simplicity. It's the simple things in life and the day-to-day, and is spiritual protection and the lessons we learn. There's that bubble again, though. It's a protective bubble. And underneath you have drawing down the sun. And they're both 33 and 22, very big time numbers. Very 1111, divine messages from Spirit. There's a channeling from Spirit here, whether you believe in that stuff or not. Divine intervention is written all over this reading. Divine purpose. And I see this right now. You're moving at a very warp speed. You've taken some action at warp speed. It's very futuristic as well, which you are, Aquarius. You are our sci-fi people. And it's like a beam me up, Scotty, like here 1 minute, traveling through space and time within seconds. You might be experiencing something that you can't really put your finger on. You can't. It's as if you're rocketing into the future, like the past is just gone. And some of you may be having some car trouble in a more mundane sense. Maybe it's time to get a new car. I see if you do, or if you take it into the shop to get it repaired, whoever you're dealing with in this situation, it would be a little bit unfortunate for you to deal with. You know, no one wants to have car trouble. The person dealing with your car will be good. I'll just say good. Maybe it's carried a lot of weight over the years, and it's just time to start over and get a new one. Maybe you don't feel financially secure about it. But what is or was is no longer anymore. Change is afoot, or it has been for a while. or needing to happen for a while. But you are protected. Maybe you're getting a safer car. Maybe you're getting, there was a recall on something in your car, and something needs to change and is replaced. And it would probably be an airbag, actually, now that I think about it, because protection. There is also this very interesting concept of drawing the sun towards you, or trailing sunlight, bringing the sunshine with you when you come and go. It's as if you're brightening up your bubble, that your aura is very bright, even in the darkest of times, even in the darkest of places. And the reason I say this is, underneath this card you have drawing down the sun, taking in the sun. This is divine masculine energy. It's about seeing things as they truly are, being who you truly are at the core level, expressing yourself freely, passionately, and Apollo, I think it was Apollo, that would drive the chariot through the sky, lighting up the world, and that's why we had day and night. Maybe you're burning the midnight oil so much that your life is really consists of the night, but you bring a brightness to, maybe you work third shift, maybe you're a night owl, and when other people are sleeping, you're burning bright. You're more alive. The sun is being alive. It brings life. And I see the sun here. Animals, the sun, and any pentacles that are here look like sun. After all, a star is really a sun. Just a different, it's been changed, it's been transformed, transmuted. It depends on where it is. Its location is what really gives it the title. Is it supporting a system? Is it giving life to something? I guess. Is it dead? Is it alive? You know? Maybe something died. Maybe something changed in your life. And now, and there's the sun again. It's as if when the sun stopped shining in the past, it became a star, or you became a star. You are a star seed, Aquarius. You're very do 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 do, you know. And we love you. We love you for that. My Mercury is in Aquarius, if you couldn't tell. You have a different way of approaching it. You have a different way of doing things. But let's keep on track here. Over surrounding this rapid movement, this trailblazing, I want to call it trailblazing. Surrounding it is the end of a cycle and the beginning of a new one. And this end would have been something that had been quite a weight to carry, a struggle, not something that's easily done. Something that you were passionate about, or maybe in the past you were passionate about, but now it's nearing its close, this cycle of struggle, of burden, of a showmanship of strength. And there is this new epiphany, or a new concept, divinely guided by spirit, coming in for you, that leads you to some sort of understanding. And from that understanding and that knowledge comes a seed of power. Very, the Ace of Wands, or excuse me, the Ace of Swords is my wart card. It's my King Arthur and the Sword and the Stone. Whoever thought that scrawny boy would be able to pull out the sword from the stone? But it was his divine purpose. It was in the cards for him. It wasn't in the cards for the strongest of men. It was, he was born to be great and to do great things. And you're realizing what you were born to do now. And that you are protected, and that your struggles have not been in vain. There's a clarity here. In the past, there was an ending. A death. Could have been a death of a loved one. And that caused great change in your life. It could have changed how motivated you were about accomplishing what you were striving to accomplish. Could have lit some fire under your butt. Life is too short. Time to get everything done. And do it in rapid warp speed. In your subconscious, what you're not really aware of right now. You're feeling a little bit like the nubile at something. Like there's more to learn. Like the student. Maybe you're a little bit financially feeling like you can't do something. Like the resources may not be there, or you might not know enough to make something happen. You might very well not want to look at the fact that you might have to go back to school for something that you're destined to do, because that's how society does it. Aquarius really isn't where you're the humanitarian, you know. You are thinking about people, but you're not thinking about people in terms of what they want or what they think is acceptable. You're thinking about people in terms of the welfare of the human race. You have a higher purpose. You have a higher understanding of things that people don't understand because you're out of this world. So the mundane things in life, I need to do this, I need this money for this, I need that doesn't register very well with you. You are an air sign that is made up of emotion. It's as if emotion travels on the wind with you. Your emotions may be very fleeting and flighty. You might be very... It's like Aquarius is like a wave created by a storm. You know, there's power there. It's unpredictable. You do things your own way. And maybe that's changing. Maybe you're willing to do things in this kind of sequential order of things now, because you know that there's the higher purpose of it, and that you want to get the dirty work done so you can start a new cycle. And maybe this loss in the past, or this great change, is what was the seed of this new beginning, really. And so you're starting over, and you're feeling a little bit insecure because you don't normally do things this way. But you're buoyant. You're protected. Your ancestors are with you. Your animal spirit guides are communicating with you through this whole process. And there's a triumph underneath all this. There's a celebration with the ones that you love, a sharing of this victory with others, and a new beginning in love as well. After a time of feeling defeated, of feeling like you had not one more thing, you couldn't take something else going wrong, or another struggle. In the future, it speaks of time here. In time, not just the future, speaking of time, but the cards themselves. Time heals all things. How many times have you heard that one? This time might not heal all things. Time's responsibility is to keep us on track, not to heal us necessarily. I think people get that mistaken. Time keeps us on track, keeps us doing things in an orderly fashion and a routine. And when things don't go the way we want them to, or the way we were hoping, or dusting off this old clock. Doesn't it look like a clock? I don't know. This is frozen, but I don't know. Hopefully it's recording. This old clock. But here you go. There's the Sphinx again. The driving forces. Those coming to our aid to help us along our path, to speed up the process, to get us where we need to go. Time isn't an issue. Time isn't an issue in terms of your age. Time isn't an issue in terms of the timing. Sometimes, we say to ourselves, it's just not a good time right now. Well, I'll be honest, I've said that a few times myself, and you never get it done, do you? Sometimes we must just begin. Just begin. Even if we don't know everything. We need to start. Because there's no time here. It's a time leap. It's a black hole. It's like you're going into this black hole and then coming out a more compassionate, humanitarian, a healer. You are a healer. Some of you could be becoming a vet, or deciding you're going to go to school to become a veterinarian assistant or a vet, helping animals. Some of you could be going to school to become sports medicine. There's also sports medicine here. Also, military. You could be a doctor, or going into the military as a doctor, or going to school through the military to be a doctor. I don't know. There's different. I'm getting a lot of different vibes. Your advice from Spirit. Is to not be satisfied with the status quo of your life. Or to be happy, but to not be too content. To accept help from others, to show the world what you've been working on. this is a very Aquarian card to me as well. Scorpio, Uranus. There's this Aquarius sci-fi thing with this for me too. You're a force to be reckoned with. I'll say that. That's where the Tower comes in for me. The advice being the Tower is to suddenly make a huge change. To dismantle something the way something was, and to, from that rubble, from that, some of you, on the more mundane sense, if you're doing any home renovations, I mean, this is a sledgehammer to a wall. Taking it out, you know? This is to, whatever you're not satisfied with, to get your hands dirty and take it down and rebuild it. Or take it down and open a new path for yourself. So that you can be more free. There's a freedom here. There's this demolition. It's like whatever's been keeping you stuck in the same old way of thinking about things or being. It's time to use your skills in order to make a new path for you, clear a path for yourself that will ultimately free you up, bring you more creativity and self-expression. There's a refinement of a skill here. There is a learning, an apprenticeship. This is the apprenticeship stage. So there's almost this hyper criticism from yourself about what you've been learning or what you've been trying to put out there. And suddenly there's a change. A drastic change. It's a freedom of creative expression. It's a download from the universe that leads you to ultimate happiness, to ultimate creativity. That's your advice. Now, don't go be taking a sledgehammer to your mama's walls. She'll beat you. But you know what I mean. It's not necessarily a physical thing. Could be for somebody wanting to renovate their home, like I said. But okay. How others are seeing you or involving themselves in this situation. Time period of your life. They are standing aside and kind of gasping at the horror of this cataclysmic ending you are starting to do. This dismantling, it's painful for them to watch. This could be a father figure saying, What are you doing? What are you doing? You've been doing this long and it's been going good, and what are you doing? This isn't the right time for this. What? They could just be like, they are taking their time to try to understand how you're handling this devastating end that they see it. That might be their perspective, that it's devastating, but it might not be. Or the devastation came from the ending of the past, the death, the close out of one cycle. All good things come to an end, all things change. They're seeing this change of the past as being something that was the culmination of a painful, cycle for you. Trying to understand why you would end something. Trying to understand why you would why you're ending something, or why you're having such a difficult time. Or why you would want to end something. You might just up and quit your job one day. Don't do that. No. They're trying. The hangman in the upright. This is in reverse. He is suspended by the universe in a timeout. Speaking of a timeout, there's a pause. In the background here, there's a pain of the heart. There's 3 swords gathered as if they were in the heart of the 3 of Swords card. So there's 7 in him or her. The card of the Chariot is a 7. They see you as being self-destructive, I think. Self-detonation. Doing things in a self-sabotage kind of way. See this as like a window and someone looking in on your life. Kicking up dirt. Maybe they're frustrated because they can't do anything about it. They think they can't do anything about it, or they know they can't. Maybe it's what they wanted for you, but it wasn't what you wanted for yourself. The way things have been, and this change that pushing you into the future at rapid speed. I'm going to move on because I'm getting stuck now. In your hopes and fears part of the spread, you hope to build a life that you can be proud of, that creates stability and houses the warmth of your passions. And here you are in your element, in your mastery. And you're hoping that this dream or this aspiration will lead you to be all the wiser. And you're hoping that the wait for it will not be too long, that the stability will come sooner than later, that there will be a tangible result from your faith. And your outcome. A turning of the wheel that leads you to be more in touch with your emotions and masterful over them. Gating the emotional depth we only can gain from a mastery of our inner world, from experience, from feeling all the feelings and learning how to deal with those feelings and when to act on those feelings. An unfortunate timing that was never a good time. It's never a good time. It's never a better time, is what I would say. If you could look at this card, I hope that it's working now. You see this wheel here with all the signs on it? What's at the top when the card's in reverse? The sign of Aquarius. This is the 10th house if this is reverse. It would also be the 4th house. So it's our childhood development down here, or down here I should say. And then if you have Aquarius in the 4th or the 10th, this could be very pertinent to you. But Aquarius being at the top when it's in reverse, the 10th house of career, I feel like because of the changing of time, you've changed in the future. You've changed your mind. You've changed at the core level. And your emotional satisfaction with your career choice is more important. The creative, intuitive elements of your emotional inner world to be expressed are more important in terms of career. That there's some sort of divine purpose that leaves you emotionally fulfilled, becomes your main focus, and your advice is to get working on harnessing and honing this craft, this apprenticeship, this new beginning. We've kind of gained some skills, but we need to refine. There's a refinement here throughout this process. And like I said, animals could be very well involved with this. He involves himself in the creative world as well. He's the visionary. So time changes our vision of things, or we revert back to something that we loved to do in the past. The wheel turns again. We get a second chance at something. We get a second chance at being emotionally fulfilled by what we do, our vision. And we start to create that life, or we hope to create that life, because we've gained some clarity on who we are and what we desire, and we're waiting for that to come in. And in the outcome, we end up attaining the luxury or luxuries of the work we've put in. We take a step back from this stage of life, one step into the past, to refine again our skill set, what we desire to work on. We burn the candle at both ends because we are so lost in the work that we do, because we love what we do. And it's as if you've learned the basic skills of something, and then you're able to take it to the next level. You're able to take the rules that you learned about how to do something and tweak them and make something completely your own. And from that, you again regain financial security. You attain a level of comfort that other people long to attain. And the only missing element is that you haven't built the legacy yet, but what you've done so far is heading you on your way to it. And it seems like you're gonna float. You're not gonna sink. And there's gonna be cause for celebration, a triumph over a dark part of your life. And this emotional gift, this love, this new beginning in love from all this. It's been a battle to do what you love, or to love who you love, but you're protected. And you have assistance from the other side, and they will be communicating with you along the way towards this achievement. Yay. All right, Aquarius. See you on the other side.